It's like made into 2 words and says, here,
Yeah,
Right.
you buy this for money and everything sounds better.
Like you
Falsehoods.
schmucks. Yeah,
I
like
did do an A/B test with the solid core silver wire, which is, of course, very expensive because it's
And?
like it sounded like it actually sounded different, and that's what we installed in John McBride's studio.
But how did you test it? Because
with a pair of Genelecs.
Yeah,
but
no,
how
I
did you
guess.
switch it?
Hi, Molly.
How did you switch it? How did you actually test it?
It was a blind test, and I can't remember. He said, "Hey, give me a second," because it was just like he brought in his little case with the little 2 Genelec things into the office, and it was when Horizon. I think they even still sell them, but it's like an offshoot of Horizon. But it was that vendor, and he came in and it's like, okay, I'm gonna play this, and then then he swapped. And it's like, which one sounds better? It's like, oh, the second one definitely. It's like, yep, that's the what was better about it? And it was like crisper highs, fuller lows. It's just more open sounding.
That's what everybody's.
I mean, it was, but it's just not. It's cost prohibitive. I'm paying $300 for a 10-foot cable.
I tried fancy USB cable.
$300. Hold on. Is it made of like really good weed that you can smoke?
No,
when
it's
you're
made of
done?
silver.
Like,
It's
solid
solid
silver.
core silver, so you could strip the rubber back and wear it as a necklace.
I guess that's a redeeming quality, but like, okay, so does silver conduct sound better than copper?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
But
so
like,
solid
okay.
core as opposed to stranded. So that's like
Why-
in your house with the electrical wire, solid copper instead of stranded copper.
So
Same kind of thing.
for a while, I did not want to believe that one copper cable is better than the next copper cable or whatever. Like I just didn't want to believe any of that. But there is. It's real.
Yeah.
But a USB cable? It's on
It's digital
or it's
signal.
off.
Yeah.
Why can it make sound more better or not?
So there is a nuance to digital audio signal, and this is not the show, Matt. This is not the show. Okay.
Put it
oh,
in
this
the
is
show.
totally the show. What are you talking
We're
about?
going deep today.
Come on,
Today's
man.
nerd hour.
Adam's
Let's
fired
go.
up. Let's fucking roll tape. Yeah,
I'm hot about this.
So good. This is exciting.
I did a workshop with Yamaha where they brought all of us nerds in from the company I worked for and taught us all about digital audio. And they showed on screen an oscillator with the different cables. And this was to show us that you can't use just a regular XLR microphone cable, even if it's like a nice Mogami one or whatever, for your digital AES signal. And most podcasters don't know about this, but you can use XLR. There's an XLR digital connection cable, but you have to have the right interface and all this stuff. And he showed us the difference in the waveform. So it is still transmitting a waveform, but it's a digital waveform, and it's not as nuanced as an analog waveform. But since it is still an electronic signal, and that's why you have to have like terminators on digital, the 110 ohm terminators on your word clock, all this stuff, because the digital signal can reflect back. It's really complicated. Digital signal is like not as simple as you think. And so it would lead me to believe that if you have a certain better type of copper, it is going to make a difference. Just like, you have people.
Sold.
Yeah. So
I got you.
The question
100%.
is like how much do you want to spend and worry about that?
So the USB cable is $300.
There are.
Yeah. But so that's the thing. I don't know. I would spend $75 on a really nice USB cable. I would not spend $300 on a really nice.
No, because you're gonna leave it at the airport, like guaranteed, or like whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
but we're talking about audio transmission.
Just
stuff.
goes
We're not
back.
using those.
It's only as good as the weakest link. Like it don't matter if you can't hear it. Then don't drop the money on it. Well,
you
I
just
rescind that
disseminated the
comment
music business. Yeah.
Well,
I
just
rescind that comment because
Yeah.
in the front end you can even if you can't hear it, it still was recorded better.
Right. And you end up hearing it in post when you start compressing it and all that stuff. But there is a
It's
law
there.
of diminishing returns, just like with everything. And especially when it comes to podcasting, it's why I don't advocate for people spending $3,000 on a microphone. People are going to listen to it in their earbuds, or in their car. It does and it's, as long as there's clarity. And to me, what's most important is reliability and just knowing that it's going to work every time. It's not going to break on me. One of the cables I made the other day, I was doing a demo for Cloud at Podfest, and my cable that I soldered started to go bad. It was like,
Say it ain't so.
I know.
How dare you?
But
You
it's
okay?
because I'm using these goofy right angle. It was I'm scarred.
Traumatic.
I mean, yeah, it's
I'm
very
scarred.
traumatic.
I'm sure you are. I didn't mean to laugh.
I'm scarred.
It was
Yeah.
embarrassing for me.
It's like finding out the Easter Bunny's not real or something
Yeah.
like that. Marcus makes a cable that
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
bulletproof.
That won't last through World War III. Not that I know
blame the
anything.
connector.
But... Well, man, we started off in
Anyway.
an uproar about cords. Well, where else can we go from here?
Cables matter.
You know?
Everyone, listen. Cables matter. All right, that's the lesson to take away from today's entire podcast.
They do, but don't spend your whole budget just on cables.
No,
you got to
but
prioritize.
don't not spend budget on cables.
Yeah, don't
Right.
go to
That
Amazon.
cable-
budget for cables.
Yeah.
Yes, the cable that
Don't-
comes with your Samsung Q2U, throw that in the garbage immediately. Do not
Yeah.
use
Don't
it.
buy an SM7B and then be like, "Oops, I forgot a cable. I'll just buy the cheapest one I can find."
This $3, yeah.
At the
That is a
gas
mistake.
station.
That's a mistake. Yeah, don't buy gas station XLR cables.
Don't buy any cords from the gas station to plug into anything that you own, because that's why your battery doesn't stay charged anymore.
See, sounds like you're speaking from personal experience, Molly.
I do. And it's probably like some country somewhere spying on us. It's like Huawei cords. that
stealing your
made it
identity. I was
through
gonna say the same thing.
Yeah,
Right.
probably. That little cord's not just going to a USB
That's why they
adapter.
sell it for -$1 at the gas station
Exactly.
because they take your identity instead.
They're like,
Comes free with a bag of M&Ms.
tell your mom I said happy birthday. I mean, good day.
I need to make an XLR cable that has that stuff built in. Maybe can make a little extra money on the side from Russia or something.
Dude, cables are
there's so
sketchy.
many.
I had to
There's so
buy
many cables out there that try and do too much.
like give you cancer.
Yes.
Those are the fun ones. What? I'm overachievers. But the DM the DMX cords though, like they literally have a giant label on them. It's like, these might give you cancer.
Pretty much if you sell anything into California, you have to declare
Right.
that it also may cause you cancer.
Oh.
If you're in California, everything gives you cancer.
Yeah.
Many,
There's an art, it always crops up. There's probably some science behind a lot of it, but I remember the one that sticks out in my mind is like a couple years ago. There was an article that said bacon causes cancer,
Right.
And that was quickly brushed under the rug.
yeah, they're
No
like, don't
one-
fuck with
No
bacon.
one
thing,
wanted
though.
to respect that statement.
Here's
Cables,
the thing, though. Everything,
phones, cancer. Don't deal with cell phones. Bacon, shh.
Yeah. The pork industry is like, how much is
everything
this
in
gonna cost
excess
us?
can cause cancer. This is the thing, though. Everything can cause cancer in some way or another, right?
Except for smiles.
I'm sure there's probably some way that it could.
Like mouth crease cancer. Like, oh, sir, you've been
Right.
smiling too much. And, you're the only man alive.
Well, we're not here to talk about cables. What are we talking about?
Cancer.
What are we talking about today?
Currently,
What are we talking about?
Well, we have quite a list, man. We got a lot going on.
We're prepared.
Yeah.
Lay it down.
I know. Go ahead,
What you
Marcus.
got, Marcus?
Me?
What you got? Yeah, we
Made
saved
the
our
list.
pre-go conversation for right now.
Yeah, boom.
What do you got there?
Well, are we going to talk about the up next first? Or should we save that for the end?
I feel like that's up next.
It's up next.
Okay.
So let's
It's up next.
do
It's
it.
already teed up, ready to go. So I was fortunate enough to be asked to edit and mix the first 3 kind of teaser episodes for this cool project that Bryan Barletta put together, dreamed up, and friend of the show, Bryan Barletta, who's been on, great guy, super smart guy, and he is the the master of ad technology. He's like the only guy in the space talking about ad technology for podcasting.
And as passionately as he does is also quite the impressive feat. Like,
yeah, as passionate as I am about audio nerdery, he is about ad tech nerdery.
Indeed.
So we're quite the pair when we get together and talk. So in the advertising industry, apparently there's this thing called the upfront. There's this like event that happens either once a year or twice a year, something like that. I wasn't aware of this. And what they do is they get a bunch of advertising companies in a room and they show them teasers of the upcoming TV seasons or radio shows or whatever industry it is. They'll just they'll just like lay all out. Here's all the content we're about to create for this whole year. You let us know which one you want to sign up for and sponsor. And the podcast industry didn't really have anything like that. So Bryan decided to create this project called Up Next instead of Up Front. That's like an audio version of that in-person experience for these other industries, where he sets up what the value is for advertising and podcasting. And then here's a bunch of samples of shows that you could sponsor as an advertiser. So it's geared towards advertising people. It's pretty brilliant. And so he dumped it on us, all of this content just dumped on one RSS feed today. And we'll put the link in the show notes. Yeah. But if you go to soundsprofitable.com, I'm sure you'll see a link to it there. The link is Simplecast is a partner on this. They helped put it together for him. They built a custom landing page for him. Let me see if I can. It's upnext.supercast.tech is the landing page. Didn't load for me there because Safari sucks. What do they do to Safari? But anyway, tangent.
Who uses Safari?
I do because I'm a Mac nerd.
Upnext.supercast.tech.
So Supercast, it's a private RSS feed.
Powerful URL.
It is.
You have to sign up to get access to it, and then you can, once you give him your email address, it doesn't cost any money, it's free, but you just give him your email address, and then they give you the RSS link and a bunch of links. You can open it in Apple Podcast or Overcast or Castro or whatever. They've got all the popular podcatcher apps except for Spotify and Stitcher, because Spotify and Stitcher don't allow you to import an RSS feed.
Oh, just nice QR code.
That feels slightly exclusionary.
I'm signing up for it right now. That's very clever.
It is very clever, the whole thing. And he thought of this apparently about a month ago, and then he just got all these people, including other friend of the show, Evo Terra. Evo kind of helped him kind of figure out the mechanics of what he needed to set up and produced it for him. And then he just called me in last week, basically, to edit and mix these three. And they're pretty short episodes, so it wasn't a huge amount of work. But yeah, and I think they turned out pretty great. The teaser episodes are hosted by Michelle. I always forget how to say her last name. It looks harder than it sounds.
Not sure what that means.
But Tom Webster of Edison, Senior VP at Edison Digital, who gives us all our stats.
Yeah, he's super funny too, for sure.
He is, and Michelle was too, man. I've got so much great blooper reel stuff from the hour that we ended up using maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes of audio from. But we had a blast. It was fun and funny. And Michelle Curry is her name. She is the CEO and founder of Frequency.
That was super weird.
But I'm hoping that she'll be on the show with us here soon, because she's a lot of fun and knows her stuff, and she can talk business, running a business, because she runs a business. And yeah, so that is up next. And I guess they're going to do this again at some point. But It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hit up Bryan to see last minute if he wanted to jump on tonight, but he was like, I can't because I'm working. Which
He's fried, man.
Clearly is. He's like super busy. But I was like, just in
It just
case.
released this morning when we're recording this, and so he's just like spent.
I can only imagine.
We had a problem with one of the MP3 files that got corrupted for the second of the 3 episodes. We were like trying to figure out where it happened and how to fix it this morning after uploading it yesterday. So it's not an easy thing to launch a regular podcast on a regular RSS feed, much less this really cool, lots of content all at once on a private. You got to sign up to get your email, you give your email to access it type of RSS feed.
It's a super cool concept for sure. I'm interested to see how that shakes out and what the turnout is, and I'm sure it'll be super successful. I mean, Bryan's super, so smart, so it's just I have to read everything he writes really slow, word by word, the ads. Yep. Got that.
A lot of what he writes is over my head because I'm not in the advertising space. But,
I think even if you are, you're still like, what? Slow down.
Yeah.
It's another level of advertising.
Dude.
That's right.
He's so passionate about it though that it makes me happy to hear to not understand him half the time.
Absolutely.
I'm like, you're living your best life, man. You're speaking the truth. Speaking the truth. You know who's not living their best life?
Who?
People buying those fucking windscreens that everybody sells. Dude.
Nice segue.
Like that?
Nice segue. That was great. That was great, Molly. That's why you're the pro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why you're the pro. Marcus, take us to Windscreen Town.
Yeah.
Windyville.
So this is something I learned from Alex, who was on the show a couple weeks ago. Before we started recording that day, he had just gotten the MV7. Wow. And he was having trouble with plosives, which is when you speak with too much air energy and
like Adam all of the time.
All the time. All the time.
Just like
time.
P's and B's. Too much air movement. Yeah.
Please stop.
Distortion.
S's.
Please stop.
Please. Yes. Keep it. No one talks about the K's.
That's
plosive right there.
Yeah.
It's all plosive town.
I had a client who had plosives on his W's. He would.
That was aggressive, Adam, dude. You were like
really pushing it. One of these days, I'm gonna have to switch headsets. Until that day, though.
I know you keep manhandling that thing like that. It's gonna snap out in your hands.
Giving it all it's got. Sorry, Marcus.
No, it's all good. So this is why we have these foam. Some people call them mic condoms. I guess is that appropriate?
Yeah, and by some people you mean men.
Yes, absolutely. Very immature men who have nothing better to do but come up with inappropriate sexualized jokes about everything.
AKA men.
Yes. Practice safe sound. Use your sex condom. Or your sex condom? Yes, of course. Your sound condom. Your mic condom. Sorry. Bad joke. So that's why we have these foamy thingies. And it's also why we have those big circular pop filters that I don't have handy. They're over there on my shelf that I don't like to use because I don't like a big circle in front of my face. So what is the solution if you don't want a foam thing, or if you don't, because the SM7B does come with a bigger foam thing that some people use. I don't like using it because
it's aggressive.
It is
aggressive. It's like you stole Mickey Mouse's microphone for a recording session.
It's a lot.
Like you're gonna grab it with giant white gloved hands.
That's right. Oh man, does Dead Mouse have a mic like that? Anyway,
no.
But I also don't like using, not just because of the size, it also dampens some of the higher frequencies, which is when you're speaking, that's where the clarity in your words comes from, is those high frequencies. So if you keep adding too much foam to get rid of the plosives, it's like a balancing act, just with anything with sound. So what do I do instead? I have. Oh, back to Alex. He said, switching mics here, switching it up. He said that there is a group of people online encouraging MV7 users to buy this SM7B windscreen, which costs what, like $35, Adam? I think something like that.
I can find out.
It ain't cheap.
I
mean, it's not super
never
expensive.
Don't
ordered
switch it
one of
now. It's
those.
gonna sound terrible. Oh, never mind.
Well, so some people that have bad plosives, and actually, let me take this guy out here. Hold on. And some people also complain that this windscreen is dumb just because it doesn't have the plastic thing. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. But they're saying that they still have plosives. Is that you guys hearing?
Maybe they just need to talk
little
so
bit.
fucking loudly. I don't know.
And that's the thing. I have trained myself not to make plosives, and it's a way of speaking where you just don't spew as much air out of your mouth when you talk. I still talk really loud, but some people just poof a lot of air when they talk. It's like I don't know. I'm not beatboxing or anything.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick question for you. Well, one, I want to see this other toy you have.
Yeah. Wait. What does it look like with that on it? I mean,
Speak now.
This is what it looks like with the SM7B thing on it, which I think it looks kind of dumb.
All right.
Personally.
So here's my thought, and this comes from another one of our guests. I think one of the most interesting things I learned was from our friend Laura from Shure.
Yes.
And when she said that it's all about it's really the grill of the SM7B being so much longer from where the capsule is.
Exactly.
That by the nature of your placement, you're never eating the microphone. Like with an MV7, if you put your face up to that mic, you are on top of the capsule.
Exactly.
You're eating the microphone just the way it is. But with an SM7B or with an RE20, both of them, the capsule is much further back in the body of the microphone. So just by the nature of the way of how close you can ever get to that mic, you're just not gonna pop the mic.
Right.
You're just in the right spot all the time. And I almost feel like windscreen, no windscreen, like talking to SM7B without a windscreen right now.
Well, first of all, I've got these both next to each other. Let's see if I can get it tilted similarly. So I know it's kind of hard to hear because I'm talking to the side here on part of the dead part, but you can see now, like I've removed
it's really hard to hear you.
It's really hard to hear me. How about now?
There, much.
There you go.
Now I'm talking right into the capsule. I don't recommend this. Do not try this at home. So I took these off. Sorry, it's harder to hear me, but to show you. So in the SM7B, I don't know if you can see this. This is where the capsule is right here. So I've got them kind of lined up the same height. This is the metal grill on the MV7. And, it's pretty much right up against the capsule here. So what Adam is saying is absolutely right. You're a lot closer to the microphone here on the MV7 than you are on the SM7B. I still got it muted.
Like you sound good without the pop filter on the SM7B.
Right.
Anyway.
And that's because I know how to control the air movement coming out of my mouth because I've been working on it for a long time. Now,
I think
That
like
sounds
mic
like something
placement-
my mom
mic
would say to
placement-
me, like, "You better control that air movement coming out of your mouth, or I'm gonna."
So I think because what Alex was saying is like if he just pulls the windscreen off just a little bit, that it helps. And there may be some also, it's creating a pocket of air too in there. I don't know, but I think what it is you're just getting a little bit further away from the mic. And this SM7B foam is obviously an inch longer. So when you get that, you're an inch further away from the mic. That helps with your plosives. You don't have to pay $35 to fix that problem.
It's like 99% silver cable.
Yes.
Like it's all hocus pocus. You just got to understand what the hell you're doing, man.
It's all physics.
Like when we were everything's physics. When we would sell pop filters for like recording studios, yeah, some people like really want to make a big deal about it, but the real benefit of it is that no artist is going to get past they're not going to move the pop filter because they think it's important.
Right.
So you put it 6 inches away from the microphone and they don't get any closer than 6 inches.
Right.
Like that's it. You're right. You're
It's
where
more
you're
of
supposed
a
to be.
positioning thing.
It's a baby
It's
gate.
a block. It's a
Yes,
That's exactly
it's
what
a
it is.
baby gate
It's
for
exactly
microphones.
what it is. That is really.
Wait a minute. Did you just equate artists with babies, Molly?
I know that's kind of cruel to babies, but
Zing!
I just felt like you
There
teed that
are-
one up for me. I don't know.
But the pop only matters if you're going to get so close that it matters.
Right.
Just don't pop the mic. Just don't do it.
Don't pop the mic.
Do better.
I've never heard Molly have a plosive on. Matt can let us know if that's not the case. But
Yeah.
So
I wish she would just pop in right now and just tell us that she has.
That's like correction. I put a plosive
So-
filter on just her channel.
I've trained myself not to have plosives be an issue when I talk, but that is not always the case with my clients, and who also use the same microphones that I have when I'm recording in person when we're not in a pandemic. What I have done is I've inserted this little wafer of fabric mesh called the popper blocker. It is not like the stocking material like you have in those circular pop filters. It's a little more robust. And,
Like a giant screen for your bowl to smoke some weed out of.
I wouldn't know about that, Molly.
Or like in your kitchen sink.
Yes, exactly.
You
I don't
can
even
always
know. Like, I've never seen
that
any
out.
material like this. It's like pretty heavy duty. Like, there's probably like some kind of military bags.
It's probably
or
a
something made out of this
hookah
stuff,
bowl like screen really for open.
but- okay, I'll take
Just
your word
saying.
for it.
Somebody's smoking something out of that shit, I guarantee you.
Multi-purpose. They're just repurposing it,
That's
doubling
right.
their money.
That's right.
But I've inserted it into the end of my SM7B, which requires me disassembling the entire microphone and then cramming it very carefully into the end. And you can see it's not the same size. It's a little big for the circle at the
Put
end of
it
this.
in the grill.
Inside the
grill?
metal. It's underneath here.
In the metal.
Yeah, inside the metal.
I feel like this is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea.
Let's go. Wait, did you just do it or was it pre-installed?
No, I did it. I've done it on all three of my SM7Bs. You've
have it in
been
all of them.
hearing the popper blocker every single
We've
episode done.
we've known nothing else.
That's right. But it occurred to me
feel cheated.
I know.
this MV7 that is my fourth Shure microphone when I need to interview 4 people, and my wife also uses it for her Zoom calls, could use a popper blocker as well. Well, guess what? It is really easy to install because you just take the foam thingy and you just stick it right in there. It's actually close to the same size. And now, if you are one of those people that talks with too much air movement, now you got a windscreen or a pop filter, not just a windscreen. You got the windscreen and you got a pop filter inside your windscreen. Isn't that
Well,
cool?
thank God, because
So here it is.
Inside your windscreen.
okay, so
I
read.
think it-
I'm down for the MV7, but I am
guess
not
that's
down.
all right.
I suggesting people, not that you're suggesting, but like do not open your fucking microphone.
No.
Do not-
If it requires a screwdriver to install something, get a
Do not-
professional to do
do
it.
not do it.
Wait,
But anybody
do
can
it again.
stick this
Take
inside.
it out.
Yeah,
Do it again.
Are you kidding me? Are you just
I just took it right out.
torturing
Here's
me
a
right now?
We're going. We agreed that we're going
Plosives.
nerd town
I
today.
just don't. I feel like plosives happen on shitty microphones, man. And then like with people who have the gain up too high, like why just fucking turn the gain down? Like,
Preach,
I
Molly.
don't know, man.
No, it's not a gain. So this is a misconception. Plosives is not a gain issue.
Misconception. Like okay, you said like it's a conspiracy. Yeah. It's shocking what.
No,
people
because I hear it a
believe.
lot. What you just said, I hear a lot. That I have plosives. I need to turn my gain down. The plosives are not caused by the gain; they're caused by the proximity of your breath to the microphone. The best option is to angle it so you're talking over the microphone or
'cause-
to the left or
Yep.
right of the microphone. So the air movement. But I don't like to do that because I'm a super audio nerd. I want to be on axis.
I didn't know that about you at this point. Thanks for telling.
Hi, I'm Marcus. I'm an audio nerd. We just met, right? I like to talk straight into the microphone because I can hear a difference. It sounds more full of energy, but the trade-off is the plosives. And if you don't know how to control your plosives, you can't talk right into the microphone.
You're doing it wrong.
Adam, I feel like you're about to say something.
I got nothing. I'm blown away. I'm astounded.
The pop rocker.
Let me.
I just want to know what else this thing is sold as because there's
Yeah.
definitely not enough reason to sell this
Knee
on its own.
patches
own,
for
that's right.
robots.
I recommend.
What about robots?
Knee patches for robots.
Oh yeah. sounds about right.
coffee filters?
Hardcore.
Actually,
Good
I wonder if I
mic
could fit
stand,
this.
A good boom arm, whatever. Know how to sit, know how to adjust your gain. You sound great.
I need to try this with my AeroPress. Make coffee with it.
I bet it
it
is
tastes
just a
terrible.
coffee
You
filter.
should make a giant tinfoil bowl and smoke some weed with that.
So now I'm talking into my
professional
condenser microphone. You can definitely hear the plosives on this thing.
Wait, what mic is it?
This is the.
You were just literally fucking beatboxing though, Marcus. Like, I am calling bullshit on this. Like, yeah, if I was sitting
Full-on
around going
beatboxer.
like, you know, like you're gonna hear that too, man. No one talks.
But some
like
people talk like this, and it drives me crazy.
that. Like Billy Madison or whatever. That
No,
It's just
actually-
about bad mic placement.
That
It is
well,
bad
it
mic
is.
placement.
It's-
If you're
it
like
is a
eating the microphone like a go-go band.
But eating, yeah, you don't want to eat in a condenser microphone because it overloads the capsule.
Yeah, bad mic placement.
Overloads
Ruins
the
everything.
capsule. I feel like we're in Alien versus Predator. You're like, you're directly over the capsule.
Overload the capsule.
You're over the capsule. Like what?
You're gonna overload it.
Why?
You're gonna plosive the capsule.
I shouldn't have ever brought this up.
No, I'm in it. Wait,
regretting this.
what mic
My
are you
God,
using?
Jesus Christ, Adam. No, please stop. No, it's.
Please, for
Is
the
this
sake.
better?
No.
Okay, what mic are you using?
away from
And I'm also curious. I have an experiment.
Okay.
What mic are you using?
Let's experiment
This
with moving that
is-
microphone a little further away from your face. Okay, you're like a kid. That was
sound
a
like this,
dramatic
Adam.
Teenager thing.
I am.
You're like 7 feet away.
What mic?
This is the TechZone Audio Products Stellar X2.
What is that? An
Amazon
Amazon
special.
microphone?
Yeah. It was I got it because I know. It was one of those where
So many words.
I know. It's a great name, isn't it? I got it because it was one of those brand new microphones assembled in California. It's supposed to sound exactly like a U87. And I'm like, yeah, right. $150. It's $200 now, but I got it on sale for $150. And it's my example mic of a relatively cheap condenser microphone. One of these days I'll save up enough money, stop buying SM7Bs and get like a KSM32 or something from you, Adam. But
That microphone exists. It brought me to tears. It upset tears.
well,
sad
this
tears.
this is actually it is not a terrible microphone for $150, but
We need
Like,
to
you
put
could
Adam
do a
and
lot worse.
Marcus like in a boxing ring, John, when you edit this, and like Marcus needs to be on one side and just take me out of the whole thing for this, and like celebrity death match. That's what's going on right now.
TechZone. The
Yeah.
TechZone. So what was it called?
Stellar X2. You know what stellar means? You know, it's got to be good if it's called stellar. right?
Interstellar.
TechZone.
That's the next. That's their next line of products.
TechZone U87 clone.
Drone microphone,
So,
high quality
yeah.
audio product.
I feel uncomfortable.
It is not high quality.
But you recommend it to people? I'm confused.
No, I do not. I do not recommend this to people. I just use it as my condenser. It's the only. It's the only. I need to get a better condenser microphone. It's the only condenser example I have because I've spent all my money on SM7Bs because I love them so much. But I use it as an example to show really bad plosives.
Oh, that's pretty
Sounds
bad.
so bad when you get close to it.
Yeah. Luckily, Marcus is the only person that talks into his microphone that closely. So.
Well, I don't talk into condensers that close. That's the thing. I talk into condensers like a gentleman.
TechZone.
From
Stellar
I don't do the
X.
whole this thing, which drives me nuts when I see people do that. But
So many
Let me try.
microphones. I'm overwhelmed.
I can't put a popper blocker.
Ironically, when I was in
works.
high school, I was a pop and locker.
Were you really?
No, but I watched Breakin' 1 and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo like 300 times.
Nice.
Do you guys
Going
even
back
know
to
those
my
movies?
SM7B. I do.
TKO, Turbo, Kelly, Ozone. Come on. Nothing? Jeez.
I recognize the names, but I couldn't sing
Man,
the
it was like the greatest
Theirs.
breakdancing movie of all time in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I
I
was
don't know if
into
I can do the
breakdancing
show
when I
with
was
you
in
guys anymore. They
second
showed
grade.
no emotion over the Breakin' 1 and Breakin' 2. I mean, they saved the
Sorry,
community
I'm
center
still-
in the second one.
I'm physically ill by Marcus's microphone selection.
Adam needs like
I bought it before I knew you.
Calls
I've
in
had it
Before
for
I knew you.
years.
Audio
that
nerd.
is the funniest thing. I met her before I knew you. I swear.
All right, TechZone. That's fine.
Adam's
I
gonna
don't
release
think you
a
have to worry
cyberware
about
attack
TechZone, Adam.
against- Yo, speaking of cyberware attacks, you guys paying attention? What's going on? Y'all might be out of gas soon. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you guys are
the
gonna be out of
pipeline.
gas soon.
We don't
I
need
just
to go
got gas
down that
yesterday.
rabbit hole today. That's a whole different podcast.
That's why you should get on an airplane, come to Costa Rica while it's still got the gas in the airplane. Get on over
We're
here.
doomed. That's all we can say about that.
Yeah. It's almost like there's like biblical fucking insects swarming the joint right now.
Oh, they started.
Have they
They
come
started.
out?
Some people saw some.
I haven't
Dude,
seen any
I
yet.
wonder
but
how many-
I don't
Go
go
time.
I wonder
outside.
how many studio sessions the cicadas are gonna ruin.
Seriously,
Like-
RX
I'm
needs
telling
to
you,
release a
I
preset
better start
for
hearing these
cicadas.
things. Yeah, I better start hearing these things. Like a restaurant said, "Oh, we're going to close now. We're just going to wait. We're going to wait till
August.
yeah, we're going to
Until
wait
the
till they're
rivers
done."
turn to blood and we really get this party started. Like, what could possibly happen next? Like, seriously. Global pandemic, check. Millions of insects unearth themselves from the ground.
They're coming.
Infestation.
Madness. Man, when
I do remember.
I remember when the cicadas came when I was in 4th grade. Did I tell this story already? I feel like I did.
No.
And I was wearing all fluorescent clothes because it was like that year in the 80s when it was popular. And I lived at the end of a bike trail. And so I walked to school every day. And so it's this long, like, bike trail, just straight shot, like carved out, like basically a cicada runway for a small child wearing a lot of fluorescent clothing because they saw me like a fucking like a lighthouse in the night, you know what I mean? And they dive bombed me and I ran home screaming because I was literally being pelted by cicadas because I was wearing like, fluorescent shoes, fluorescent socks, fluorescent shorts, fluorescent shirt. I was in 4th grade. It was field day. You know what I mean? It was 1982. I was living my best life. And that was like literally the most traumatizing walk home ever. 4th
You
grade.
still have nightmares.
Never forget it. Dude, those things, because it was like a bike trail. So they were, it hurt. They were,
Yeah, they're not
swooping
small.
down in from behind me. Like, so yeah, enjoy those
Scary
cicadas. We don't have those in Costa Rica.
But
Yeah,
have
you just have
bats.
spiders the size of your
I
dog.
know, we have like
That's
bulls roaming the streets, literally. I was like, that's a bull. Like, holy shit. Like, that's not a cow. That's a fucking, there's 4 of them. Like, like I saw a post on Facebook and somebody was like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but like, can someone please put their bulls away? And like this bull had charged his car and like destroyed the
Oh
front
my
end.
gosh.
Yeah. He's like,
You
not
have
trying
bull
to be
insurance
rude.
for your car.
Yeah, Costa Ricans are super polite, man. They're like, I don't mean to offend anybody, but your bull destroyed my vehicle this morning. Like, yeah, but we don't have cicadas, so. Column A, column B,
There you go.
give a little, take a
Giant
little.
grasshoppers.
Right.
What else we got?
I-
What else we got in Podcast Town?
On Podcast Town. Well, let's
Should
see.
we talk about?
Oh, well.
I've talked
Should we
enough
talk about
already.
our marketing tactics for the next week?
Oh, yeah.
Now that we're teed up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about the social media experiment 2021.
Good idea, Adam.
All right.
So we're on a mission, you guys, to get more listeners. Because this is what we do.
It's what we do.
Kind of.
no
we're
point
in the podcast business.
Does a podcast exist if it has no listeners?
All right, simmer down, Biscuit. I'm the only one that's allowed to eat mushrooms on the show. First of all,
That was a great question.
No, it doesn't exist because they don't do any more episodes, and then it just lives on Anchor forever with all of its other loser friends. That was a little harsh, I admit. But
Ouch.
what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? So
All right,
so yeah, we're setting out because we
you shared a thing to us earlier, didn't you?
No.
I didn't look
Oh
at
yeah,
it.
Matt did. And then we have a folder with all of our social share videos, which are quite awesome. They're more like little highlight reels. They're not your average. So all I ask is just don't share the one of that one episode where I look like a fucking Oompa Loompa. If you could like share that one like very, very last, I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Wait,
Make
so I
it
see
black
the
and white.
This is the whole video.
Like, can you put some like cartoon filter on it and make it black and white?
Can you treat me like someone who's never used the internet before and tell me where to go to find these things so I can do my social media? I get how to make a post on social media. I do not get how to get the content to post on the social medias.
Okay, so we have a folder. We have a Google Drive folder that didn't match.
So I need a Google Drive on my phone.
Yes.
I have it.
Or you can bring up the URL, and if you got that email in the phone, you just bring up the shared.
It's reinstalling because I don't use it ever.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. Oh wait, Matt. I bet Matt's sending it to us in the chat, and we just don't notice. Nope. Matt's like smoking a bowl in the other room right now. He's not even here. He didn't say anything, so I'm gonna assume I'm right.
Man.
Hold
How
on.
about Dogecoin while I'm waiting for this to download?
Is that how you say it?
I am killing it on crypto right now. I made like $700 yesterday or something. I'm like,
Nice.
what is happening? That's not real.
Yeah, it's pretty wild out there.
Out in these.
So is it
streets.
pronounced Dogecoin? Is that how you
Doge.
Yeah.
Doge? Not. I don't know how you would say it.
It's all about the Doge. I have no Doge.
I don't have.
I missed out on being a billionaire.
I know.
Now everyone's just losing money because they thought they were going
To the
to
moon.
double their monies. Nope.
Except Elon
Not how it
Musk
works.
is about to like fly a rocket to the moon.
That was his attempt to try and save it because he tanked it after he went on. Everyone thought it was going to rise to the ether when he was on SNL. And while he was on SNL, it dropped like 50%. And after SNL, he posted, "Hey, we're gonna fly Doge 1 to the moon," which is just like one giant meme. Doge to the moon. He's gonna take but he's gonna do it. He's gonna take an actual rocket and send it to the moon, and it's gonna be paid for entirely with Dogecoin. And normally, when Elon speaks, Doge rises. Didn't happen.
Like,
Didn't
what
happen.
do- When Elon speaks, Doge rises. Like, welcome to the dystopian future
Doge
that
rising.
we were warned about.
That's
Yep.
right.
We have arrived.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let's see if all right. We're in.
But that is.
We're in.
You found it?
I'm working on it. We have a lot of client folders. We have a lot of clients. Good job. You know, when you see them.
Good job, me.
No, I tee them up, but Matt and the team, John, do all the work. All right.
I gotta remember my password.
What just happened?
So you are really taking this like you've never used the internet before thing seriously, aren't you? You're like my 74-year-old.
I'm analog, man. I'm all analog.
Okay. Well,
Oh, I got it.
do you have the link?
So good. Hold on.
I'm emailing it in the Podcast Club HQ. And so in this link is like all the videos that John has edited. So all the social share videos. And there are square videos and rectangular versions.
All right, so I'm going to go to...
It's basically just the same thing. There's IGTV and there's Square for each of the social shares. And each episode has a social share.
So Square is for regular Instagram posts, and the IGTV ones are they're like widescreen?
No, they're vertical. So
they're vertical.
IGTV.
Okay.
You just sent this?
Yeah.
Oh, there.
I got it. All
right.
This
We'll
is
have to cut some
powerful
of this
stuff.
out.
This is
Yeah,
entertaining
powerful.
podcast right here. We're emailing each other.
All right. We're in.
So
All
each
right,
episode.
Go to the episode. IGTV.
So yeah,
Square
Please
or
not the Oompa
Square.
Loompa one.
You want me to get that, Adam?
That phone call?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So there's all our social share videos, and we can upload them. And so you put the social share up, and you link it back to the YouTube video.
Right.
So you need to copy the YouTube link, and then put the social share on your social, but then direct people to the YouTube.
Do you use Linktree?
Yes. So you can make
Is that your link site of choice?
Yes. And so what you could do is go to the YouTube and then get the link to the playlist of Podcast Club videos and put that on your link tree, like the Podcast Club. And then when people click, it'll open all of the episodes.
You know,
because if you post a link for each episode, you're going to have on Linktree, you're going to have just like a ever growing list of links on Linktree. That's
well, you could just link the first link on Linktree could just be check out our podcast,
Totally.
right? And just go to the
playlist
page and it would just be the first thing on the playlist. With the other thing, slightly harder to manage, but I get the idea behind it. Would be I saw TikTok is now my main source of all information. Somebody posted about basically just like taking a little bit extra time and building your own link page on your website.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I've done for Jen. That's exactly what I've done for Jen.
Winning move.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to build it, and then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I'm
And
going
then
to
I'm going to
copy
post it, and then I'm going to link it.
If you want to see what we did, it's mixedusmedia.com/IG.
We'll put it in the links.
But yeah, so this way we're getting the SEO juice that we talked about last week. No, it is not mixedusmedia.com. So yeah, because the traffic is going directly to our website and not to Linktree, in their domain. So it helps us on Google search. Is it Instagram?
Word. Well, if you build it, I will steal it, and it will be great.
Build it, steal it, post it, hashtags,
Make millions.
make millions.
McMillions?
McMillions. Yep, exactly. Word. Well, we got some good guests coming up. We got Jen Sherman from the Influencer Collective. We got Bryan Barletta coming up soon. We've got, hopefully some other folks coming on the show soon. So that'll be exciting.
Yes.
For sure. And then we can circle back next week and see if our marketing efforts this week improve our numbers from this time till next week. We can circle back and see what worked. Because even the little bit that you posted was good. And then I repost, and Twitter, I have a big Twitter following at Heartcast Media. We got 8,000 there, 10,000.
Whoa. That's a lot better than my 700 or 500, whatever.
And we have 20,000 on Facebook, and we got 10,000 or 12,000 on Instagram. So if you guys are tagging me in that stuff, we can repost it. We can really amplify it.
Always use the tags. Always. That's one of the things that drives me crazy with guests on some of my clients' shows is they never tag. They never tag their guests. And it's why are you not tagging the guests on your posts about your episode?
Yeah. So, and then Heartcast Media is sharing our content too. So you could always reshare it from there, or if you put it on, I can reshare it from one of y'all's page. I think there's we just need to share all of the links and all each other and tag each other and just be annoying.
Absolutely.
Plus, these little social share videos are awesome. They're hilarious. The one,
It's the highlights.
yeah,
They're real good.
they really are, man. They'll be great. People will love them.
Podcast Town will love
So
it.
we just got to put them out
Podcast
there.
Town.
So, Podcast 10.
So I'm gonna do. So the experiment is I'm gonna focus on Instagram.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Molly's gonna focus on LinkedIn. Marcus is gonna focus on Twitter.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
And dude, you should put them on TikTok. How can we put them on TikTok?
Man, TikTok is. I cannot create for TikTok for shit. I should try.
We should start a Heartcast
with
TikTok.
the IGTV video, the vertical joints, that could be cool.
That works. Yeah.
Nah, man, TikTok. You got to TikTok into TikTok. You can't have TikTok.
What Adam is saying,
Can't
Molly,
have
is,
talk TikTok.
is you and I are too old for TikTok. That's what I'm
I
saying.
am also.
Hey, speak for yourself,
am-
you grumpy old man. I'm not too old for nothing. That's why I have a 27-year-old
I definitely
boyfriend.
am too old for.
Just kidding.
Well,
Well,
What else?
that's it. It is that.
About it.
It's that time.
it's that time. I think that the gauntlet's been dropped. The challenge has been described, set forth.
What-
It'll go forth and
What hashtags are we going to use?
and social media.
I mean, Podcast
should-
Club,
we should-
and then the hashtags for whatever pertains to that episode. That's the most
Okay.
important.
So the Podcast Club
Podcast Club,
or just Podcast Club?
the.
Well,
Oh
Matt-
shit! I just realized that the logo says the Podcast Club.
I was just seeing a lot of posts on TikTok. Funnily, that the human brain, when there's two thes, it always ignores the second the.
That's awesome.
We all have been staring at this
I-
for 16 episodes.
I love it. So,
It's literally at the top of every episode.
and we were
See it
talking
right
about
now.
this after we stopped recording last week. How
All right,
we want this
if
to
you
be
noticed
a public.
and you know what? None of our 17 followers noticed it either.
That's right. Nobody
Suckers.
told us. You need to change. You got a typo in your cover image there.
The
I'm a little
Podcast
hurt,
Club.
people. People, I'm hurt.
Well, on that note, I think
I thought we had a better relationship than that.
I trusted you, Molly.
I know. Well,
trust-
whatever,
I trusted
man.
our
You guys
followers.
approved that jammy jam, so suck it, dude. All right. So, well, on that note, I really gotta go
Well-
because I gotta design a new logo. Apparently,
Yeah.
I can't believe
Well,
none of us noticed.
Happy
that.
podcasting.
Yeah.
Happy podcasting
And
world.
remember, kids,
It's been a pleasure.
always proofread
It's
your
been
logo.
Lessons learned. Lessons learned, everyone. It's been great. Next time on the Podcast Club, we'll talk more about logo design and reading, one word at a time. Until then, have a happy day, world.
Time to go start drinking.
Maybe we already have.
Baby.